they want to be the team that we all believe they can be, and what they believe they can be, they've got to find a way to be more competitive. So it's like I said, it's down the long road. Yeah,
I agree. They got to be more competitive. They got to be more competitive. Even on back-to-backs, they got to be more competitive. Kings on the second night of a back-to-back just didn't have it. Didn't have enough for the Clippers. Clippers came in looking ready, looking tough, looking like the old players that they were. This Clipper team was serious when they came in. They were ready to beat the Kings. The Kings were not ready. Did you see that? DEAARON FOX had 40 points, but he just didn't have enough help from the rest of his team. Last night, the Sacramento Kings lose at home to the LA Clippers 131-117. Clippers are now 8-9. Sacramento Kings are now 10-7. I'm back. You're here. Thank you. I appreciate you joining me. What's going on, Kings fans and all my folks out there? It's your guy, Jay Woods, aka Shy the Man, back at you with another episode of the Kings Morning After. Midday Cup of Joe with Jay.
Ah! I love it.
Nice and warm. Pretty strong. Perfect. On this night, DEAARON FOX scored a big 40 points. But the rest of his team just really wasn't there. The Los Angeles Clippers came in looking more professional, more determined, more interested, stronger, and looked like a better team last night. They came in ready to beat the Kings. The Kings were not ready. And that's my black. 1 tablespoon of creamer. Ooh, whenever I put the cup in the image, it just goes crazy. Zoom doesn't know what to do. Clippers' leading scorer for the night was KAWHI Leonard with a big 34 points, 9 rebounds. And I'm telling you what, he looked like the old KAWHI Leonard out there. He might not have been as active or as young, but he looks big, he looks strong, and he still looks very agile. James Harden had 26 points on the night. Paul George, 19. Terrence Mann with a big 18. Pretty much everybody contributed. Even Zubac with 14 points, 8 rebounds. Off the bench, Westbrook with the big 9 points, 8 assists. Like I said earlier, DEAARON FOX with the big 40 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. The rest of the starting lineup pretty much didn't have much. Domantas Sabonis had 11, 5 rebounds. I'm not sure where Domantas Sabonis has been in the past couple games. He's in a little bit of a funk, if you ask me. Malik Monk came into the game and scored 15 points. Sasha Vezenkov scored 13. So those two by themselves scored more than the rest of the starting lineup, minus DEAARON FOX. Trey Lyles with 2 points on the night. Davion Mitchell with 9. All right, I'm going to give you all my eye tests. The eye test for the game. Today's eye test. So today, my eye test is just what I observed during the game and my opinions, basically, and my takes of what I saw during the game. And that is that, especially just kind of looking back at these stats as well, DEAARON FOX just didn't have much help. I don't know what Domantas Sabonis is going through right now. He's seems like whenever he plays against other bigger centers, foreign centers, he doesn't do that well. He never really does well against bigger centers. Maybe Brown should try JaVale McGee a little bit more, maybe even Alex Len against some of those guys that Domantas Sabonis doesn't seem to do well against. Zubac being one of those guys. Last night it was Valanciunas. Some of these bigger guys like Looney I'm not sure if Sabonis is burnt out or he's just in a funk, but he went from having some very good games to he's just kind of out there. It was interesting. Chris Duarte started the game, but he didn't start the second half. Mike Brown started Vezenkov. I guess he wasn't happy with what Duarte was doing out there. Kevin Huerter, 7 points. Harrison Barnes, 9 points. It's just not enough. It's just not going to get it. We need those guys to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end, especially with the absence of Keegan Murray right now. And hey, if these guys are cold, they're not hitting the 3-pointers, go to the basket. Get to the mid-range game. Try some give and go. Cut to the basket with Sabonis. There's other ways to get your offense, besides just shooting threes. So some of these guys, I think, need to get a little bit more involved into the offense and get the ball a little closer to the basket at times. Like they used to say in the old school in the court, you miss 2 shots, you miss 2 or 3 shots, you can't shoot no more. You have to take the ball to the basket at that point. So Vezenkov is making his point for a starting lineup position. If Duarte doesn't get his act together, Mike Brown is real hesitant to start Davion Mitchell. I don't know. His 3-point shot just still ain't hitting. I know he's out there every night early practicing his shot and working on it. It's just not clicking for him. His 3-pointer, he could be a really good D&3 guy if he could get that 3-pointer down. No shots at Davion Mitchell. He didn't really get much playing time anyway. But we're just trying to look for somebody in that guard position that could come in and step up next to DEAARON Fox while Keegan Murray is out. It might be time for Mike Brown to give a little more consideration to maybe a Jordan Ford or a Toby Jones. See how they look out there. So all in all, I know it was a back-to-back. All right, so here's my bottom line. The Kings morning after bottom line. Today's bottom line is, all in all, I know it was a back-to-back. I know the Kings were tired. They looked like they were tired. DEAARON Fox still had 40 points, though. Where was everybody else? Clippers came in ready to play. This is an away game for them. The Kings are playing at home. These guys should be rested, go to sleep early. I know you guys had the game the night before against the Warriors, real emotional, hard-fought game. But still, if you guys want to be one of the elite teams, one of the top teams in the Western Division, you got to be able to play in these back-to-backs. It's a thing that every team does, especially against these guys that are your West Coast rivals, like the Clippers, who may be finishing around the same spot that you are. These guys are in a constant battle in the Western Division because everybody's record is so similar. The win-loss differential is like 2 or 3 games from all the way from first place to like 6th, 7th, maybe even 8th place at this point. Let me look at the standings real quick. Kings are in 6th place, 10-7, and the Timberwolves are 13-4 in first place. So that's a 3-loss differential only between first and 6th place. You could play 3 games in a week. You can lose 3 games in a week. Hopefully the Kings don't go on any 3-game losing streaks or anything like that. But it's so tight in the West. My point is, it's so tight in the West. The Kings need to come in and be a little bit more consistent and take these games seriously against their West Coast rivals and these West Coast teams coming in here trying to establish themselves for the playoffs. This was a game where Clippers pretty much led throughout the whole game. They jumped out to a big lead like the Warriors did the night before. Like I was saying yesterday, the Kings need to stop letting these teams come out to these big leads in the beginning of the game. It's too hard for them to come back at the end of the game, especially on a back-to-back. Your legs are already heavy. You're already maybe possibly tired. You might still be aching from the night before, and you got to try to come back from a 20-point lead. It's just not going to happen. So the Kings just need to play better defense in the beginning of the games. They need to be more consistent with their offense. Sabonis needs to get back to being Sabonis, and they need to run that 2-man game through Sabonis all day long until somebody can stop it. Why change the game? Why change up? Hopefully we'll get Keegan Murray back. Those back injuries I know are tricky. Sometimes they can last forever, so hopefully he'll come back strong. And in the meantime, we got guys like Vezenkov coming off the bench holding us down. He's making a strong push for a starting position. And we got our dog Malik Monk still coming off the bench. So hopefully these guys can just keep up that pace they had in the beginning of the season and keep with that offense they had in the beginning of the season and just play a lot more defense and be a lot more consistent and close these games out a little bit better. And that's my bottom line. Now, coming up next, the Kings get to play the Denver Nuggets for the first time this season. The Denver Nuggets will be in Sacramento playing the Sacramento Kings at 7 p.m. That's a Saturday game, Saturday, December 2nd. So we'll get our first glimpse at the Denver Nuggets out here in the G1C arena. Let's see where the Nuggets at right now. The Nuggets are currently in second place, 13-6 on the year. So that's going to be a tall task for the Kings, and it's another one of those teams in the West Coast that the Kings really need to show up for. They can't come out there playing half-ass, and as we know, DEAARON FOX is going to go out there and give his all, as he does every game. He made a funny joke. He said it's easy to hit 40 when you hit your free throws, so I think that he knows he needs to be hitting his free throws, and that's going to be an important part of his game moving forward. So that's good insight from our leader, DEAARON FOX. So I'm curious to see how the Kings show up on Saturday. They should be well rested by then. They need to go in there. Well, they're going to be at home, so they need to make the game tough for Denver, play some good, hard defense. And that was one thing about the Clippers game. The Clippers just looked tougher. They looked a little stronger. They looked, a little more dominating than the Kings did. They came in ready to play. They played with force. They look like they're building their chemistry, so that's kind of dangerous for the Kings as well. They're rounding out to a good team. So the West is just getting harder and harder, and the teams in the West are getting stronger and stronger. So the Kings need to take note of that. They need to keep working their game. And when the Denver comes in on Saturday, they need to show Denver that they are one of the top teams in this division. So it's going to be another test for the Kings Saturday. Real quick, I want to check the betting line for the game. So the odds aren't out yet for the game. It's probably too early for the odds to come out for the game. It's still Thursday right now. The game is on Saturday. Maybe I'll chime in with the odds later, or I'll put them in the description or something. But if you guys are into betting, or if you want to do sports betting, you can sports bet anywhere you are if you use the link down below in my description. It's what I use to sports bet, and I've won a little bit of money with it. So if you're interested in sports betting, go ahead and click the link down below, and I'll try to get those lines to you later. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got, you guys. On a back-to-back, the Kings lost. Clippers just looked more determined than the Kings last night. DEAARON FOX had 40, but he didn't have much help besides that. So if you like the video, anything interests you at all, please click that like button. It'll help me out. If you like Kings talk, you like hearing Kings, you like commenting on Kings, go ahead and subscribe to my channel also, please. It'll help me out. Plus, in the future, we'll be doing some live stuff. We'll be doing some live game reaction, and we'll have a chat that everybody can join in and chat and talk some mess about the Kings. So go ahead and subscribe. We got some fun things coming. And if you can, share the video. Why not? You know, I'm new. It'll help me grow, and it'll help me kick the algorithm's ass. So share the video as well. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you can, make a comment. Please make a comment on my video. Anything that I brought up, anything that I talked about, any questions I asked in the video, please go ahead and make a comment on it. I invite all comments, and I'm so new that if you make a comment on my channel right now, I'll actually post it on the next video. I don't really have much of a motivational statement today, guys, but I do like to say, stay consistent, keep pushing. Every day is another opportunity to get closer to your goals. So just stay consistent, work at your goals every day, and push yourself to strive for greatness. All right, guys, that's all I got. You guys have a great day today. Hopefully you'll come back and check out my next video after the next Sacramento Kings game. But anyway, I'm out. It's good.